Hello, guys, and welcome back. So we have Leo. Your song is Holy. And again, that's going to be in the description along with the playlist for this month. Um, so Leo, for the next 3 to 4 weeks, there is this energy of coming out of hardship, coming out of like the dark. There is like the seeing the light, following the light, being in the light. There's something about lightness. There's something about things just becoming like so much lighter in your life. This energy of like just releasing, and and the funny thing is that a lot of you are not even realizing what it is that you're releasing. I feel that a lot of you are in this phase of complete surrender when it comes to spirit, when it comes to really allowing yourself to let go of what has not been serving you like for the past 7 years. And I have to say it that way because a lot of you have been holding on to things from like 7 years ago. I don't know why seven is so important, but that's the way that it's coming through. So we have to say it, right? Right. All right. I'm having too much fun with this, can't you tell? I love being back in this platform. I love doing these readings because it's always kind of like, I always think I know what's coming, but I never really know what's going to come out until I'm there. So, anyways, back to you, Leo. There is this energy of like almost kind of like reclaiming your power, reclaiming you, and getting back in the spotlight, whatever that looks like, right? Whether that is at work, whether that is at home, like there is this just wanting to go back to you, like wanting to just get back to you, wanting to feel like yourself again, wanting to look like yourself, wanting to talk like yourself. Like it's almost kind of like you guys were really in a space of like uh, going through it, like in the dark, where like you couldn't. Let's fix it. So this necklace was actually gifted to me by a very, very close friend. Love her. She made it. And I don't know if she makes jewelry to sell, so I can't say, but she made it for me, and I love it. But anyways, I had to say that. Alright, no, anyways, let's get back to it, seriously. But, and the reason why I'm holding myself is because I feel that a lot of you were in a space where everything was dark, right? When you looked yourself in the mirror, you didn't recognize yourself. When you spoke, you didn't recognize yourself. What you were seeing, or the way that you were perceiving, the way that you were seeing things, is like you didn't recognize yourself. And it almost feels kind of like this is just being lifted, like lifted off of you, and you're coming back to you, or you feel like you're back. You feel like this is me. Like that is the energy that I'm picking up. And it's like, for those of you that were struggling with depression, it's like you went ahead, you got therapy, whatever it was. And again, there's no judgment here. There are times when therapy is needed, right? I've been to therapy plenty of times, and I love it. Why? Because it allows me to talk about myself. Nah, let me stop. Let's be serious. It's a place for reflection, right? That's what therapy. That's the way that I look at it. Therapy is a place for reflection. And for those of you that have really been in this space where it just felt kind of like it just felt like a battle, right? Like every single day felt like a battle. And it's like these next 3 to 4 weeks are going, like you're going to start seeing that energy shift if you haven't shifted out of that energy yet. And you're going to start seeing how to take, or what small steps to take to get back to that space where you feel like yourself. And like I literally like just want to like stop and like just hold myself and just be in silence, and like really like just put your hand to like your heart and just like feel your heartbeat, and like just feel you. Like you have always been there. You will always be there. You have always been there, and you will always be there. And I know that sometimes circumstances and situations, and for those of you that this is in regards to a relationship that ended, or something that came to an abrupt ending, uh it's hard to see it in that moment, because it's like it's almost kind of like you may feel like a part of you is lost, or a part of you is gone. And it's like we have to remember we have to allow ourselves to grieve whatever it is that has been removed, whatever it is that has been released. Um, because if we don't, then that energy kind of like stays there dormant. But then when it comes back up, I always say it comes back with a vengeance. So a lot of you were in a grieving process, whether that was from a romantic relationship, from finances, career, but there was something that you felt that you lost. For some of you, it's like you lost yourself within a relationship, and you're allowing yourself to grieve that, in that version of yourself that lost herself, in order to come back to you. And what we have to realize is that we have to be kind with ourselves, because we tend to be our biggest, um like, we tend to judge ourselves, let's put it this way, the hardest, right? And it's like, be kind to yourself, be kind to yourself during this time, and allow yourself to feel that it is you, it is you, and things are picking up, things are getting better, and it's okay. It's okay to have those moments of crying. It's okay to have those moments where it seems hopeless, where it seems like there's no coming out of it. It's okay to have like those moments, but it's not okay to stay in those spaces, right? It's not okay to stay stuck in those spaces. And the thing is that for every single one of you is going to look different coming out of that space. But you have to, it's almost kind of like a lot of you have to give yourself permission to stop grieving, especially if you've been in that space of grieving for a long time. You have to give yourself permission to stop grieving. You have to give yourself permission to come back to you. You have to give yourself permission to just be you. Make sense? Makes sense. Makes sense to me. There is a need here to learn to offer yourself the love that you so freely give to others. Learn to offer yourself the attention that you so give to others so freely. Um, there is a sense, again, like, a lot of the things that you were giving, that you were feeding to things outside of you, it's time to start bringing it back to you. It is time to start giving everything that you give to the world, everything that you give to your children, to your significant others, to your friends, to your family, to your job, to your dogs, to whatever, your cats, your turtle, whatever, give it back to you as well. A lot of you has spent almost your entire lifetime giving to others and neglecting yourself, and you're being told to stop that. Stop that cycle. That cycle ends now. That cycle of feeling like you're not worthy of the love that you give, or the time, the affection, whatever it is, to others, like that. It's time for that cycle in your life to end. It is time to come out of that darkness, out of that way of perceiving life and perceiving yourself. All right, let's go ahead and sing. Who wants to come out? What do you need to release? What do you need to release? What part of this grieving process are you denying yourself, right? And I'm going to share a little story just to kind of put it into perspective, right? There was a connection in my own personal life that ended. And when this connection ended, logically, I understood why it ended. I understood why it had to end, and I was logically okay with it. But I was also not allowing myself to grieve this connection ending, because whenever connections like that in the past, or that connection has come to an end in the past, whenever I grieved it, it meant at that moment in time that I wanted to reconnect. I wanted to be in connection with that person, regardless of whatever the situation was, romantic, platonic, whatever, right? And this time around, I told myself, no, we're not grieving it because we don't want it back. And it was kind of like I was sitting down with a group of people and we were meditating, we were talking, and after the meditation, and I, without thinking about it, just started bawling, crying, and I'm like, huh. And I'm like, it's okay to grieve a connection that ended and not want it back. It is okay to grieve what I had, what I shared with someone, and not want the person back in my life. Not as a friend, not as anything. And I feel that sometimes, again, we we put certain perceptions around grief or around anything in life that then does not allow us. So it's kind of like we set these own limitations within ourselves that then do not allow us to heal or to let go of things. So for me personally, that was it, was like just rewording or restructuring what grief meant to me allow me to then process and allow, and it gave myself I gave myself excuse me I gave myself the permission to grieve that connection that ended, knowing that just because I was grieving it, it no longer meant that I wanted that person back into my life. And I feel that that is something that you guys have to really like look at it, like what are you stopping yourself from grieving, because you feel that if you grieve something, you want to restart something or you want something back, and that is not the case. Well, guys, that is all that I have. As always, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. As always, it has been a pleasure, and take care. Until next time, love you. Bye bye.